What's up, guys?
Hold on. Right. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Shonen Showdown. I'm your host, Rob, and sitting to the right of me is
Scott.
And today we're going to be breaking down Shinra from Fire Force and Todoroki from My Hero Academia. We want to know who is stronger if they were in a battle. So stay tuned. Scott, let me know. Shinra, Todoroki, who are you taking?
Well, obviously, we got two big new animes coming out. We got My Hero Academia, Shoto Todoroki. We got Fire Force just came out.
Yes.
Only about 9 episodes. Ninth one just came out. It's very recent. Main character Shinra. Both got similar abilities.
Right.
Shinra got the devil foot quirk. Can shoot fire out of his feet. Very powerful. If they were to face off Todoroki and Shinra, it's obvious that it's obviously Shinra in this fight.
Okay.
By far. It might be close in the first couple seconds of the fight, but that will be it. That's all it takes. After that, it's a one-sided fight.
All right. So, just to let you know, you are completely incorrect. Actually, I think Shoto Todoroki is coming out on top, but it would be a close fight. You saying by far is just very disrespectful to Todoroki. That is crazy. And all the Todoroki fans out there, I have nothing to do with that. I don't want my name attached to that foolishness. But I will say that Todoroki will take the cake. Now, let me know why you think it's Shinra before I start going in.
Well, going into this fight, I broke it down into 3 categories. Okay, I broke it down by 1, firepower.
Okay.
2, intelligence, battle tactics, etc.
Intelligence and battle tactics.
3. Actually, I'll save 3. All right, 3 is a pretty obvious one. It's a big one. I think it's gonna, do some damage when I actually use it. But let's get into the first one just to start it off.
Okay.
Firepower. Okay.
Yes.
We've seen Todoroki, especially in the first fight when he was fighting Deku, and he used fire for the first time. We've seen the scale of the explosion he unleashed. We've seen that some mentors and the other pro heroes had to, pull up like, people might die right now. Let's try to, so they try to minimize the damage, put up some walls.
Help my point.
Okay, he's got some really high firepower. Shinra, on the other hand, from the second we've seen him, no build up, no training arc, no nothing. We've seen his firepower able to kick straight through the chest cavity of an inferno with the sheer force of a flame. Clean through with fire. We've seen him go toe-to-toe.
That's cute.
With pro fire soldiers. Each time he's had a main villain face-off or face-off against another fire soldier, they've all exclaimed how powerful his fire is.
He's elite, but are we going to ignore the fact that Todoroki had a face-off with Stain? Are we going to ignore the fact that Todoroki was also helping to save bakugou? And I also want to mention that not only are his fire abilities out of this world, because I agree that his reserves of strength, with his quirk, are much higher than Shinra with his pyrokinesis. There's no questions. I'm not debating.
Agree? I'm not saying that.
That's what
you
agree?
Saying.
Listen, and let's not forget, my man also has ice. So I'm factoring in the ice abilities as well.
That's about as useful as a bag of chips in this fight. Okay? That's about as useful as penny chip and wet napkin from SpongeBob.
Okay.
Shinra can melt ice. This is not. That's not. I'm not even factoring that in. Like, that might be an advantage against other people, but in this particular debate, that's not gonna account for a lot. That's not an advantage in my opinion.
Are you serious?
I'm giving them for firepower. I'm giving them a tie. I'm giving them 1 point.
You're giving them a tie.
I'm giving them a tie for.
You're giving them a tie for firepower.
Yes.
Really.
You also have to account for the fact that Shinra's firepower is so great. He can actually propel himself from the ground like a jet and fly to wherever he has to go.
But Todoroki doesn't. He uses the ice for that.
To do what?
You've never seen Todoroki skating on the ice?
Oh, I see some X-Men United. I seen that. Okay, I'm not. What is that?
What do you mean? What is that?
What is that?
What do you mean? What is that?
He can skate.
Their mobility in that sense is pretty much equal. Todoroki prefers using the ice than the fire for Shinra, but there's no way we can sit here and say that Todoroki wouldn't be able to use his fire if he needed to propel himself because he's done it.
What do you mean he's done it? Himself. When has he done that? Please,
bro, listen to me.
I think you're mentally visualizing Avatar: The Last Airbender and then putting Todoroki over that. I believe you are talking about Azula. That will be the next debate, but for this debate, we're sticking with Todoroki.
Okay. Okay. See, listen, that's how I know I got you, because you're jumping from show to show right now. Right now, I'm still talking about My Hero Academia. Yes. And when I'm talking about My Hero Academia, I'm talking about not even his fire reserves, but his ice reserves were able to literally freeze half of the stadium when he was in the tournament, when he was fighting Sero. So, what are we talking about here?
How would Shinra be immobilized by the ice?
And let me explain this to you. Todoroki, as I've mentioned in previous debates, is the best defensive fighter in Class 1A. We all know this. And the reason why he is the best defensive fighter is because he's able to separate his opponents and keep them at bay. He keeps them so far away from them that this is where he works best. He works best at long-range battles. That's what Todoroki does. He's been doing this for such a long time. So when I look at it like that, I mean, he could literally keep Shinra away with his ice abilities, right? Make it very hard for him to stay stable. And then, at the same time, he has a fire on the other side. Come on.
Right, you know what you just said brought me into my second point, actually.
Go ahead.
Let's talk about their mobility.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about it, all right? You just said Todoroki is best at long-range firepower.
Right.
That would not be the case with Shinra, okay? We've seen him in several fights use his feet to not only traverse large distances by flying. We've also seen him being able to use the same effect, the same ability in close range combat. We've even seen him use this in small rooms when he was fighting Joker in back in episode 3, I believe. We've seen him use this. He's been able to use his feet to change his trajectory mid-flight to attack at all types of different angles. All these angles widen his attack range, his attack capabilities. They multiply every attack he can make because he can make all those attacks from all those different angles. All right? You're not going to sit there and tell me that Todoroki can do that with his ice because...
No, I'm telling you the strength of his ice powers, though. We even saw him fighting... He was fighting 5 people at one time.
Of his ice powers.
Bro, he's been fighting 5... He fought 5 people at one time. He fought those 5 ninjas at one time in the license exam, in the provisional license exam, right? And their quirk was to make, some objects larger than what they are. Which means that his ice was able to even stop that. That's enough strength where even if Shinra was even come inside...
What does it have to do with his mobility?
What do you mean? What does it have to do with his mobility?
How does that make him more mobile than Shinra?
No, I'm talking about him stopping Shinra's mobility. You're talking about how agile. I'm not debating whether Shinra definitely can move fast.
Okay, all right.
But we can stop. But I'm saying Shoto Todoroki can stop it. That's what I'm saying.
How?
He can stop the ice wall. What
are you going to do with the ice? He can fly over the ice wall.
What do you mean he can fly over the ice? You're making it sound like Todoroki has no brain and he's not going to be prepared for it.
Has no brain?
Is the best defensive fighter.
You want to talk about intelligence?
He's the best defensive fighter in Class 1A.
Right now, you want to talk about Todoroki? Let's go back to the last debate. What were we talking about? Yao Yoruzu and Todoroki fighting Eraserhead? I believe my favorite line from that whole fight was... Wait, let me think about it. Oh, yeah. When Yao Yoruzu said, Todoroki, do exactly what I say. He had no strategy going into that fight. His strategy was Swiss cheese. Like I said before, she told him exactly what to do, when to use Ice Wall, when to use Fire Blast. Okay, that's the only reason why they came out of that lock. He got captured in 2 seconds.
Shinra is very, very limited, though. His power only comes out of his feet. That's the only thing. He's a strictly fighter, and I think even that would limit him in hand-to-hand combat against Todoroki. I'm glad even him getting inside. Todoroki is not gonna let him get inside though. I don't see him getting inside.
You don't see that?
No, I don't see it.
Perfect. You couldn't have said anything more perfect. One, I got 2 points to bring up. Okay,
do it.
One, when they were taking on the 5th division, right, and they were battling the captain, the princess. Do you remember what Shinra did? He didn't actually take her out with a kick or his legs at all. He used his legs with his mobility to open up the amount of possibilities he could attack with, and he landed a Superman punch to her jaw, knocking her down. He hit her so hard, she switched, she forgot what side she was on in the anime. And since then, we've seen her at the Division 8 Firehouse after that episode. Okay, that's how hard he hit her with the hand. All right? Second point I want to make. You want to talk about close range combat, his abilities? Look at the Stain fight, right? Your favorite fight. You have to remember that Todoroki was so limited in his attacks. I'm not even going to get into the fact that his only 2 attacks are Ice Ball and Fire Blast. I'll forgive that. Wrong. Okay, I'll forgive that.
That's wrong.
But look what happened in that fight. Stain was charging at him, and whatever blast he shot out, whether it was ice or fire, right? He got so overcommitted with that attack, Stain literally dodged it to the left, and he was so stuck, so overcommitted with that one blast. Stain almost sliced his whole arm off several times in that fight. Ida and Deku had to save his life more times than I can count.
Scott, hold on.
Todoroki couldn't even take a left step and dodge Stain's blade. Okay, he was like, Deku, please. Listen, I'm dying right now. I can't pull my hand back from this attack. I'm shocked right now.
So what you're telling me right now is Shinra can solo Stain. Is that what we're talking about here?
I don't know about Stain, but he could definitely solo Todoroki.
Is that what we're talking about here? Because Todoroki's performance against Stain was pretty stellar. If you consider how powerful Stain is, Todoroki.
How are you going to compare that?
Listen, if
Shinra never fought Stain.
But I'm saying, but Stain acknowledged that Todoroki was a big threat because Ida really wasn't doing anything. We can all agree on that, right? So it was really just Deku and
all Ida was doing was really just saving Todoroki's life several times.
Oh, really? Is that really what it was?
Yes.
Just like how Todoroki saved bakugous. So, I mean, at the end of the day, is that what?
What does that have to do with Shinra?
No, I'm talking about. All right. So, right. Let's break this down. Ice is what Todoroki uses for mobility and to keep his enemies at bay. This ice power has a strength.
It's pretty weak at it.
It's really weak.
He couldn't keep Stain at bay with that power.
But let me tell you. All right, so who has been breaking through Todoroki's ice?
Who?
Who's been breaking through Todoroki's ice? Who has been breaking it down?
Who has been in My Hero?
Yes, that's what I'm asking.
I can tell you one person who could break it down and has broken it down. Bakugou. Bakugou Shonen has broken it down anytime he's had to face up against it. And I'm going to tell you a second person who could break down his ice. Who? Shinra. All right? This ice is not going to do anything against a fire quirk.
Bakugou is not better than Todoroki. He's not better than Todoroki.
But that's a separate debate. All I'm saying is he can break down his ice wall. Can he not break down his ice wall?
That's a separate
debate. You asked me who could break down the ice. I told you 2 people. Is that false?
Oh my God.
Did he not do that in the fight to win the game?
This is mad. This is mad right now.
Did he not do that to win the tournament?
I feel like what the problem here is you don't understand how
how ice works?
No, how Todoroki utilizes his powers. We know how Shinra utilizes powers. You just explained it. The fire coming out of his feet, he uses it to change his trajectory, all types of stuff like that. And it's beautiful, it's splendid. But I'm saying when it comes to a matchup with Todoroki, not only him having fire, but also him having ice, he uses the ice for mobility, he uses the ice to keep people at bay, and then he could use the fire when you're already at long range. That is the amount of abilities and the amount of power that Todoroki has within his quirks. Because his ice is more powerful than his fire. I will say that. But because
what I'm saying is that ice would not have that great of an advantage against a fire-based quirk user.
But I'm saying it would, though.
How?
Because we've seen it. We've seen it time and time again from
we've
Todoroki.
Seen him beat Bakugou.
What?
We've seen him beat Bakugou with the ice?
He didn't go all out against Bakugou. That's why Bakugou didn't really even count it.
If only he went all out.
Did you watch the show? Bakugou himself was
he didn't use his flame power.
Exactly. So
how
is that going all out?
You're just telling me that his ice power is strong enough to beat somebody with a fire quirk, and you're telling me the fight is invalid.
No. I'm saying the ice with the fire. Yes, if Todoroki went into a battle with Shinra and only used his ice, he would lose. I'm going to say that because Shinra obviously
his fire,
but his fire with his ice that he's been complemented together.
His fire that he's been using for a month is strong enough to beat anyone with the fire alone.
Because his reserves, Scotty,
such as
his ice reserves it's incredible.
Pick which power you want to talk about. You just said the ice.
Then he has 2.
Now you're saying the ice reserves. Pick one, please.
What do you mean pick one?
Please.
No, Todoroki has 2, so I'm talking about 2 powers.
Yes,
right now.
and neither will be strong enough to beat Shinra.
Oh my goodness.
Both of them together?
You're wrong. You're wrong.
Todoroki's not touching Shinra in fire power. That's
You're wrong.
far. And then the ice power, Shinra's just gonna melt it or fly over the ice wall. So what are you saying?
You're wrong. You're wrong. Even if you pair up Shinra's opponents and you look at who Todoroki had to face, I mean, they really don't.
The men v boys argument.
Yes. Let's go. Yes, Todoroki.
Let's go.
What do you mean? Who is all right? Who is Shinra? If you look at it, who is Shinra really struggling against? Like who up there that Shinra was fighting was crazy that Todoroki can't handle? Let me know. Todoroki can handle Hinata or Hibana. Sorry. Todoroki can handle Rekka. I think so. Who is Shinra fighting that Todoroki can't handle? Just let me know. All right,
in
then.
that show,
all right,
we haven't even seen him fight anyone in the show. What are you talking about?
All right, guys. So you definitely let us know down in the comment section below who you guys taking in a 1v1 battle: Shinra from Fire Force or Todoroki from My Hero Academia. And with that, we'll see you next time.